And they're the ones to turn a blind eye to.
Blind, yeah. Bro, I actually love this. I
Yes,
actually
I
really
love
love the
it.
topic
Yeah,
of this, and I sort of agree with them massively in this because I feel like I am someone who likes to just not pick sides. I like to just hear each individual topic that they're talking about and then make an opinion on that. But when you say like something that they disagree with, they immediately, it's just so toxic. It's just so toxic that I've actually now become like blind to them. Like I just decided that I don't really care about politics anymore.
Because when you have talked about it.
Because when I have an opinion, and because I'm in the middle, I'm hated by both sides a lot of the time. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just not be involved in this because no one's making sense anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, bro, listen to this. So we're back again with another K-pop reaction. We're gonna do more Agust D. So I think we haven't actually done any of his songs since we did the trilogy like a while back with Higum and some of the other songs on it.
I believe this is a suggestion from you guys in our comment section.
Yep.
Agust D, Strange. And apparently it's featuring RM, which I didn't know about.
Which we didn't know, yeah.
And I noticed we didn't say that, so it was a nice surprise. So we'll have a lot of rapping actually.
Yeah, we'll have a lot. But we couldn't find a music video for this one, so we're using Dial 6137 because they've been solid so far.
Let's jump straight into it. Bro, what?
Bro, I think it's interesting to describe the world as a big, like, massive system. It kind of is. It's a very, very complex one.
But it has become that way.
Yeah, but even with nature, it still is super, super complex, right?
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, we've added like 10 layers of like complexity on top of it for no reason. One of the things that I always find interesting is like, the work week is such a like man-made thing, but we live by it so like religiously, where there shouldn't really be a difference between a Monday and a Saturday. It should just be you wake up day by day in nature and you just continue with your life. But we've made it this like we've tried to put this like structure around it.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually detrimental if you think about it.
Yes, but no. You kind of need the structure if you have like huge cities. Where you rely on other companies and
like in the corporate lens, you need it for sure.
But
for
this
it
is what
function.
you mean.
But this is what I mean. But like, I don't know if we would have been happier without just having the corporate stuff in general and just being a bit more like with nature and not having these big concrete cities and all of this kind of stuff. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, like, because that is dystopian the way you describe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can't even imagine
what that would look like.
Yeah. But then again, I do see. You can see what that might look like if you go to like some like smaller towns. It's just not in big cities like where this may not happen.
Yeah.
But, and also I see some videos about people in Switzerland, like when they go to like trips, there's so much greenery and like there's houses like with so much space around them.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of a farm life or like a small town,
which is quite fulfilling.
You can probably do that.
Yeah.
Where every day is just as good as the last. Where Monday is as good as Saturday. Or Sunday even. But yeah, it is hard to say what it would be like. They inject.
Bro, he's kind of saying what we were just talking about, actually.
They inject morphine.
Yeah, called hope. So they're injecting you with this drug.
Morphine.
Yeah, and it's a collateral for dreams. As a collateral for dreams. That's mad. Ooh, polarization is the ugliest flower in the world. Do you know what I mean by polarization?
No.
So I think about it in like in more like a political sense. Like, you know how it's like you either believe these things and you belong on this side of the political spectrum, or you believe these like more radical things and you believe in like you belong as the conservative or
there's no in
Labour
between.
or like Democrats and Republican. You're either a Trump supporter or you hate Trump. Like, there's no in between where you're like, some of the stuff he says makes sense and most of the stuff he says doesn't. Like, there's no like balance there. So you're put into like these two different categories and there's no middle ground, which means that there's no like
And
agreement.
that's the ugliest flower.
And that is the ugliest flower. And once it becomes like that, which it has now, it's really hard to undo it and come back to some level of like agreement between the two different parties.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
Because what happens is now whoever the politicians are, they want to get elected, and to get elected you have to play to that certain fan base. So you have to say the stuff that you know this fan base is going to love, and you have to say the stuff that is going to like put the other side down. Exactly. And like, we're in a position now where it's like, how do you get that like central kind of thing back, where like people agree on some stuff, disagree on some stuff? Now it's like people aren't really thinking. It's just like, do you believe in what X says, or do you believe in what Y says?
Aren't you taking away from choice then? If people can't vote between 2 options or 3 options, depending how many parties there are, because there's more in Germany. If you just combine it all into one, where's the democracy? Where can people actually then choose? Would they rather than choose the policies, vote for the policies rather than voting for the party? For example,
they should vote for the policies.
I think that would make more sense.
That is how it should be.
Because then that's a choice coming back into place. So you just choose for this policy that they want to put in place, and based on the votes, yes or no.
Yeah.
But the party itself represents sides from like opinions from both sides.
Exactly, and that's what you need is like more like a centrist kind of like approach to it. But how do you get back to that? How do you get back to that? Like, because people literally hate each other when they're on opposite sides of these, and like families get torn apart and all of this kind of stuff because of stuff like this. And he's completely right when he says,
well, isn't there a saying like you should never bring politics into like any dinner discussion?
Yeah, politics, religion, and something else.
Work, yeah,
it's something else,
because it can get people riled up so much. But
it shouldn't really be like that. You should be able to talk about it, because then maybe you'll learn something, and then maybe you can teach someone something as well about a topic. But
just stopping people from talking about it just shows you that you can't even have a debate.
People literally hate each other. Yeah. And he's right. It's the ugliest flower in the world right now.
What?
People don't get sick in a sick world, but instead we treat them as humans.
People don't get sick in a sick world.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. So if you're not conforming to this like sick polarized,
if you don't get sick.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not in agreement with
you're
these,
the mutant.
You're the weird one. Like, it's like why don't you just pick a side?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right.
The ones with the open eyes are the ones that we shut our eyes towards, right? Yeah. And they're the ones that you turn a blind eye to.
Yeah. Bro, I actually love this. I actually really love the topic of this. And I sort of agree with them massively in this, because I feel like I am someone who likes to just not pick sides. I like to just hear each individual topic that they're talking about and make an opinion on that. But when you say like something that they disagree with, it's just so toxic. It's just so toxic that I've actually now become like blind to them. Like I just decided that I don't really care about politics anymore.
Because when you have talked about it.
Because when I have an opinion, and because I'm in the middle, I'm hated by both sides a lot of the time. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just not be involved in this, because no one's making sense anymore.
Yeah.
If you're liking this video and you want more Ride and Ryan, check out our Patreon. Here's a clip. Exactly, and it's also like a base for new and up and coming like groups, right? So this is where they showcase their skills, which is why I was wondering why why he was crying earlier. Maybe he didn't feel like it went well.
Was he crying or was it sweat?
No, I think he was crying. It's just like don't cry and stuff. So yeah, I don't know what that was about. Maybe he didn't feel like they did a good job or something. I don't know.
They're polar sides of each other.
Yeah.
Giving you a choice, but then choosing capitalism to take control,
Yeah.
or to make the choice. Oh. Do you know what do you think he means by that? Because I think I've got a theory on that, where this the one who produced.
Yeah.
Do you think this is where like people who stand up to a government they don't believe in, once they win them over and like get them out of control,
Yeah. So like a revolution.
they are the ones who then want peace, but then the ones who wanted peace initially are then the ones who want the war, the fight. And this is what maybe they means by the word that switches as fast as a flip of a hand. Like, you want peace now, but as soon as someone who has different opinions, who wants the war and the fight, takes control from you, they're the ones who want peace. And then you're the ones who want to, like, so you're constantly battling between
You're constantly
one or the
battling. And man, it happens a lot where like there's a coup. And
Exactly,
basically,
yeah.
the person who's leading the revolution is generally like a good guy, wants like the best for the country and the people, blah blah blah. But power changes people, man, and then they get to that same position and they find themselves doing a lot of stuff that the person they tried to overthrow was doing, and that's
a song from J. Cole, High Something, where he's like,
half hours, not that
Half
one.
Hours.
Is it that one?
Where he talks to the
about like
president.
Obama when he speaks to
and
Obama
he said
stuff.
like, once you get up there, I can't say you're doing anything wrong because the suppressed become the oppressed, something like that.
The oppressed becomes the oppressor, I think.
Oppressor, yeah. But yeah, that's what it is.
But when he's saying wordplay, I think he's saying that about like the bar he just said as well earlier about like flipping peace and war. Yeah,
But
so he's referring to
right.
that as well, like his
Yeah.
his
It's
own
two
rapping
places,
and actual
yeah.
wordplay.
The wordplay.
But there's a bar coming up that I really like. But yeah, just play it. There's no right answer. That's the right answer. Like
There's no right
sometimes
answer.
you look at leadership and you're like, oh, like lead, and you're the ones that are like closest to the truth, and you're the one that can like guide us into that direction. But then when you lose faith in leadership, you have to realize that there is no right answer, and you just have to like try and find that by yourself.
That was a good bar.
I wonder what polarization they're talking about though, because I've made this very like political kind of, but that's not necessarily what
It
they
doesn't
mean.
have to be.
I
To
wonder
be
if-
honest, but they have talked a lot about the world, the system, and politics in a way, with the fights and wars and
Yeah,
wars and
that's true.
capitalism. So it could very well mean that.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know what the political landscape's like in Korea. Maybe this is just something that's happening all over the world.
It is happening all over the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
I think every country is going through some sort of capitalism, and like when some people don't believe in one government or the other. I don't know any country that doesn't.
I don't think capitalism necessarily is the bad thing. I think
no, but what I mean is the
I think it's the
parties and
polarization.
exactly,
is
the
the
two
key.
opposites.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, man, I really like that. That's really sparked some interesting conversations. And this is why I would say Agust D is probably my favorite rapper from the group, because these are like very deep topics, and he seems to almost always like spot these conversations between us as well, more than the others. Like I said, J-Hope's more like the experimental one, and to be fair, RM we've literally just listened to one song, so we do need to explore.
It's
it more.
shocking how like one band, like we just finished the reaction
V.
Which was a like complete different, like it
Jazz,
was almost like a jazz love song kind of way. And now we've gone talking about
Polarization,
polarization,
and
the
stuff,
kind of dilemma in the world, government, politics, and all that stuff.
There's an incredible pool of talent in the group, isn't there?
Yeah, and like a range of the kind of songs they do as well. We've seen like some experimental stuff from J-Hope, RM with the rap, like this rap songs we've seen.
Yeah,
and again, Agust D coming with some deep shit.
Yeah, deep perspectives and stuff. But no, it's been
good.
It's been a bit of an eye opener as to like how much like talent there is actually in the group.
Well, I'm very surprised because my first initial thoughts when I first heard of BTS and everyone enjoying their music, I just imagined them to be a K-pop band.
That's a very like general statement, I guess. But like, I imagine them to be like
just like feel good songs, but
also like not very deep, with just loads of like fangirls and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That's the perception they have for people that are outside that bubble. But we're now like penetrating that bubble a bit and trying to see like what's actually going on. And it's been a pleasant surprise.
For sure.
But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this.
Yeah, and thank you for recommending this song. Keep them coming. This is a great song that you guys recommended and really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Let's see what's next.